It's exactly 10 to 7. BBC Three Counties Radio. Let's get into the Saturday papers. I'm glad it's Adam Paris Long with me this morning. Adam's a reporter on the My News publication, which covers Hertfordshire. Last time, Adam, you were in, it was the height of summer, and of course it was bright at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's completely changed now, isn't it?
Oh, getting up in the dark's a bit grim, isn't it?
Terrible, absolutely awful.
It is.
Always a pleasure to be here, though.
Yeah, well, you're very... thank you for being so nice and coming in.
No problem.
What have you found? Let's start with the Daily Mail this morning.
OK, so page 4 of the Daily Mail sort of knocks on from the British Gas price hike. I think that was 2 days ago. So the day afterwards, there was a press briefing in Westminster with one of David Cameron's aides. And he was asked whether the Prime Minister agrees with suggestions from Energy Secretary Ed Davey that people should wear jumpers if they're having trouble meeting their energy bills. And in a characteristic mess of words, he sort of said if that advice is being given, then perhaps it should be taken.
Unbelievable. Because you know a comment like that is going to be...
Yeah.
Picked up on and exploited by the press.
Exactly. If you don't give a strong no, then it's going to be in the headlines the next day, and that's exactly what's happened.
Here's the thing with energy bills, and of course it's been in the news all week with British Gas putting up their prices. I said this last week, the one thing everybody's got to start doing, and I know this from my own bitter experience, is double check your bills and check them again and read your own meters and get online and upload your own meter readings. It's a faff and a pain. But boy, does it make a difference, because so many of the energy companies now are doing this business with estimated bills.
Is this from personal experience?
This is personal experience, yeah. Estimated bills. I've had this with two different companies now, where they estimate, of course, what you're going to use across the year, which is fair enough, but they estimate on the high side. And you'll find at the end of the year, generally speaking, that you may well have an increase, a credit on your bill, rather. Which they then hold against the possibility that you use more next year. It's an outrageous scam, and I'm sure the energy watchdog is going to get on top of this sooner or later. But
definitely, yeah.
Check your readings, upload it. My latest thing now is I'm constantly reading the meters, obsessively.
Turning all the lights off and all of that.
Well, I don't mean so much that you've got to have the lights on, but it's just get the meters read all the time and pay for what you're using, not for what they think you're using. It's almost like a garage saying, well, we think you might fill up your car with twice as much petrol as you need, so we're going to charge you for that anyway. What's in the Sun this morning?
OK, so next, page 15, Sun. So a 4-year-old girl has been found in Greece, taken from a Roma couple who have been arrested by Greek police. And she sort of bears no relation or look to the family at all. So they've taken the child and are now trying to find her sort of biological family. And they say she might have been taken from Eastern Europe or even Northern Europe. So obviously the Sun are sort of linking this back to Madeleine McCann, saying, could this have happened? Is a similar link, if you like, with that case.
Wow, they're actually linking the cases, are they?
Oh, well, they're not linking the cases. They've just tied the Madeleine sort of thing in. So it's quite interesting that this 4-year-old girl is now sort of being pictured across Europe.
They're trying to find her family. They don't have her nationality or anything at all?
Nothing at all.
But they know that she's not from this family.
Well, yeah, but they could tell that almost instantly from sort of looks, and now they've done the DNA tests, and obviously they've
so who is she? Who are her parents?
Exactly.
Wow, that's extraordinary. On the Sun this morning as well, another one from, what's this, about scuba diving?
Yeah, page 37. So this one's a bit lighter. So it's a British man who's now set the world record for the longest warm water scuba dive, and he was under there for 49 hours.
My goodness me.
Which is absolutely incredible.
He must have had really wrinkly thumbs.
Exactly, yeah. I saw the picture afterwards, and you could see where they'd taken the mask from his face. You see the lines almost indented into his face. It was horrific.
Give me that again. How many hours?
49 hours and 56 minutes.
What was he doing?
So while he was down there, he was clearing debris and sort of deck chairs. And stuff on the seabed.
And where was this? Does it say where? It's extraordinary to be underwater for such a long period of time.
I think it was in the Mediterranean. Malta.
Yeah, it would have to be somewhere reasonably warm.
Yeah.
My goodness, that's extraordinary.
And they said he had to there were quite strong currents and everything. He had to.
You ever been scuba diving?
I've never been there.
No, getting your paddy, as they say. I tried it once and hated it. All these people say, "Oh yes, I've got my paddy." I just don't like the claustrophobic feeling of being under the water.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
More from Adam Paris Long from the My News News publication, which covers Hearts, of course, coming up later. Thank you, Adam. See you in a short while. It's exactly 4 minutes to 7. This is BBC Three Counties Radio. Let's talk to my guest, Adam Harris-Long, who's here to look at the papers this morning. Hello, Adam. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Adam's a reporter for the My News publication, which covers Hertfordshire, and he has in front of him the Times, the Express, and the Daily Mail. What do you have first of all, sir, this morning?
Firstly, the Times. This is over a few papers this morning. So there was a leaked document that sort of originated from the Department for Transport, and they're now sort of putting out to tender the East Coast main line for trains.
Yes.
And they've now suggested to companies that if they want to, possibly, they could implement third-class rail travel, which would take us back half a century, back to
What's
1956.
third class? You travel with the sheep. What is that?
On the roof, something like that, clutching to the side, who knows?
What's third class? How can it be any worse than it is?
I completely agree, but obviously this has been sort of jumped on by the...
Who suggested this?
This is Department for Transport say that if they want to, just I think to make it look a bit more appealing to these companies, a bit more profit, but...
Third class? I mean, stop it.
So obviously the train unions have jumped on this, saying that standards are going to decline and all of this sort of stuff. And
I don't understand. What I've thought for years is that we should do away with first class and economy and just have really good and comfortable seating and good standards throughout the train.
And the way they police, something I've always noticed, the way they police the first class, it's like entry to a club. It's horrific. So sometimes you get the guards coming up to you, and even if you're just standing in there, I've actually seen someone get fined for literally just being stood
well, that's
inside
quite
the door.
right. I think that's fair, because you wouldn't want somebody very near to the door, would you? If you're sitting in first class. Though you can travel at the weekends. It's quite cheap to upgrade. For a £5 or so, you can sometimes upgrade on some, I think on the East Coast and on other lines. Third class, what a ludicrous idea. Maybe we should have fourth and fifth class as well. Fifth class, you actually have to shovel the coal in. What's that in the Express this morning?
Okay, so this one was quite interesting. In Bridport in Dorset, a local baker, she's decided to buy a toilet block opposite her shop, and she's spent quite a lot of money on it, £110,000.
What?
And this is solely for the purpose for her customers to use it, like I say, opposite the shop, to avoid them going to the other side of the town, to use the newer toilet block there. And apparently sort of local developers were interested in it, and that sort of pushed the price up. She eventually paid 80 grand over the original price for it, which is incredible.
Why didn't she just install a loo
I have no
in her bakery?
But it's an incredible act of generosity.
It's an act of lunacy. She spent 80 grand on a public toilet so that people wouldn't go elsewhere.
You could say that, certainly.
Fair enough. Maybe it's an investment. And finally, the Daily Mail. Oh, you've gone for the $1 million cat.
Yes, this is very interesting. So they've done a quite a large feature on this. That the famous grumpy cat, which is endemic of the sort of internet culture we live in these days. Where
anybody who puts up a picture of a cat, I immediately unfollow them. Here's a cat that looks like Hitler. I'm not interested. Are you?
Not really.
You like
no
that stuff. People seem endlessly entertained by cats that look like things.
Yep.
The house that looked like a cat. Do you remember that one? Or was it the house that looked like Hitler?
That was the house that looked like Hitler, yeah.
Anyway, somebody sent me the other day 20 vases that look like cats. So this is not a good way to spend my time. So what have you got there?
So, it's incredible. This cat, quite literally just called Grumpy Cat.
He is grumpy.
Yeah, so it originated from a single picture, I think on Facebook about a year ago, and since then it's ballooned into a book deal. Apparently there's a movie to come. And this cat now does appearances across the US with supposed fans turning out to come and see it. And
it's earning a lot of money.
Apparently so, yeah. Apparently it's worth $1 million. And this
the cat's worth £1 million?
Apparently, yeah. The bit that amused me, that it's got its own manager, lawyer, and a minder to make sure that it isn't hassled on these appearances.
That's a good story. I like that. And where's that this morning? That's in the Daily Mail.
That's in the Mail, yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Adam. It's been nice to see you this morning. No problem. We can read you where? Just remind us.
My News magazines across Hertfordshire.
Lovely. Come and see us again soon.
Will do.
Adam Harris.